Greetings to everyone. So today we are going to discuss about the topic that is the continuation of welded plate girder addition. So far we have seen that the load calculation with respect to the load, what is the moment and shear force is going to act on the beam. So act on the girder that we have calculated. Next to that, we are assuming that web is going to take the shear and the flange is going to take the bending moment. Based on that, we have designed web plate as well as flange plate. Then we have gone for classification of flange, which means whether it is plastic or compact or semi compact. So that criteria we have discussed. So now let us move on to the remaining steps. Let us go on to the problem. So as of now, we have discussed that our web plate size, that is 1800 mm by 12 mm. We discussed that. Okay. Similarly, flange plate size, that is 560 mm by 50 mm. So here it is D, this is thickness of web, and here it is breadth of flange, and this is thickness of flange. Okay. So what about the moment and shear force means? The bending moment of the section created due to load is 11,448 kilonewton meter, and the shear force due to the load is 1908 kilonewton. So far we have designed this, and with respect to step 5, flange plates are comes under plastic category. So far we have designed that. Okay, now let us move on to the step 6, that is check for bending strength. Check for bending strength. So before going to check, we have our girder plate drawing. So the thickness is 50 mm and this is 560 mm. This is flange plate, 50 mm and 560 mm, and the depth of web is equal to 1800 mm. Similarly, thickness of web is equal to 12 mm. So this is what we have. Okay, and the centroid is going to lie here, so that here it is 900 mm and here it is 900 mm. Okay. So now plastic section modulus of this section. Here design check for bending strength. So design bending strength from page number 53 of IS 800 2007. Okay, bending capacity formula, MD is equal to beta B into ZP into Fy by gamma m naught. We know that Fy is equal to 250 Newton per mm squared, and the gamma m naught from table number 5 is 1.10. Okay. Now ZP of the section we have to calculate. Okay. So beta B for the plastic section is 1. Okay, we all know that. So ZP we have to calculate. So ZP, we already said that the bending moment is going to taken care of flange. So ZP of flanges we have to calculate. Okay. So formula is, so two plates are available. So 2 into B area into y bar square. So that y bar is nothing but overall depth minus thickness of flange divided by 2. Okay. So 2 into 560 into thickness of flange is 50 mm. Then overall depth is 1900 mm minus 50 mm divided by 2. So if I'm going to put this, I'm getting the answer of ZP is equal to 51.80 into 10 to the power 6 mm cube. So if I'm going to substitute this value into the above equation, then I can get the value of MD is equal to 1 into 51.80 into 10 to the power 6 multiplied with 250 divided by 1.1. So MD is equal to 11772.7 kilonewton meter. So this value is greater than our moment due to load. Okay. So our moment due to load is 114488 or 8 kilonewton meter. Hence the flanges are safe to transfer the bending moment. Therefore flange plates are safe in bending moment. So this is with respect to step 6. Next one is step 7, shear capacity of web. So shear capacity of web. Okay. So we already assumed that flanges are going to take bending moment and web are going to take care of shear. Okay. So let us move on to the formula. So here the formula is from page number 60 of IS 800 2007. The formula is tau CR E is equal to K V into pi squared E divided by 12 into 1 minus mu squared into d by tw the whole square. So this is the formula we are going to use to calculate the critical stress. Okay. So here the condition from page number 63, that is T by Tw for shear capacity, okay, should be less than 200 epsilon, should be less than 345 epsilon f square. So if it is epsilon means root under 250 divided by Fy. So automatically Fy value is 250. Then we can get the value of epsilon is equal to 1. Okay. So this is with respect to shear and this is with respect to serviceability. Okay. So d by Tw. So 1800 divided by 12, which is equal to, we can get the answer of 150. Should be less than 200 and it should be less than 345. Okay. So condition also satisfied. So next from page number 60. Okay. The KV value is equal to 5.35. Okay. Therefore tau CR, and we know that mu value, that is they have given as 0.3 Poisson ratio, and the Young's modulus E is equal to 2 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per mm squared for steel section. Okay, so if I am going to substitute this value, kV 5.35 into pi squared into E divided by 12 into 1 minus mu squared into d by t the whole square. So d by t is equal to 150 the whole square. So if I'm going to substitute this, the stress value I'm getting as 42.98 Newton per mm square. Okay. Then I have another condition, that is nothing but on page number 60, non-dimensional web slenderness ratio. Non-dimensional web slenderness ratio for shear buckling stress. Shear buckling stress. This is nothing but our comparison with respect to the tau CR E value. Okay. So here lambda W is equal to root under FYW divided by root 3 into tau CRE. Okay, this is the formula we are going to use. So root under 250 divided by root 3 into 42.98. So if I am going to substitute this, I can get the value of lambda W is equal to 1.83. So now the condition is, if the lambda W is greater than or equal to 1.2, then tau B value is equal to FYW divided by root 3 into lambda W the whole square. So 250 divided by root 3 into 1.83 square. So if I am going to substitute this, I am getting the stress value as 4.4 Newton per mm square. Sorry, 44 Newton per mm square. Okay. So from page number 60, we are having the design shear strength or critical shear strength of the section. VCR, okay, that is area of web portion multiplied with tau B. Okay, the condition is VCR should be greater than V, then only our section is safe to transfer the shear. Okay, so we are going to find the VCR value. So VCR is equal to area of web. So area of web means depth of web multiplied with the breadth of web, okay, into tau B 44. So this value is around 950.4 kilonewton, so which is less than our V, that is actual shear force created due to the load. Hence we have to redesign the web. So height we don't want, we never change the height. We should go for thickness. So we have to redesign the web thickness and how to do the step 7 again. So now let us consider, okay, thickness of web as 16 mm instead of 12 mm. Okay, whether this thickness provided 16 mm is satisfying the above requirement, that is VCR should be greater than V, then that we are going to use it. Okay, so again from page number 60. Okay, so D by TW, that is 1800 divided by 16 is equal to 112.5. So this is also less than 200 and epsilon and less than 345 epsilon f square. So condition is satisfied. So condition is satisfied. So next what we have to do, elastic critical shear stress we are going to calculate. That is tau CR value. So tau CR value, the formula is kV into pi squared E divided by 12 into 1 minus mu squared into d by tw the whole square. So kV value we know that 5.35 pi squared into E value 2 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per mm squared divided by 12 into 1 minus mu, that is 0.3 squared into d by tw 112.5 the whole square. So if I'm going to substitute this value, I'm getting the tau CR value as 76.411 Newton per mm squared. Then I have to go for lambda W. So root under Fi by root 3 into tau CRE. So 250 divided by root 3 into tau CRE 76.411. Then the value of lambda W becomes 1.374. Therefore, V tau B is equal to FIW divided by root 3 into lambda W square. So 250 divided by root 3 into 1.374 square. Then the value of tau B becomes 76.46 Newton per mm square. Therefore, VCR is equal to 1800 into 16 mm. This area of the web multiplied with the tau B stress value 76.46. Now the value of VCR is equal to 2202 kilonewton, which is greater than our stress developed due to the shear developed due to the load, that is 1908 kilonewton. Hence if we provide web plate of size 1800 mm by 16 mm is safe in shear. Okay, so now we have redesigned the section so that our flange plate size is equal to 560 mm by 50 mm and our web plate size is equal to 1800 mm by 16 mm. So we are hereafter we are going to do with the design using this category. So 50 mm, 50 mm, 1800 mm, and thickness of web is equal to 16 mm. Then breadth of flange is equal to 560 mm. So this is our new section. Here, now we have to go with welded connection of plates. So here I am going to do the weld, and here also I am going to do the weld. Okay, so that I am going to make the connection. Along with that, I am going to have end bearings. Okay, so end bearings means plate I have to insert here, whatever the gap I can have now. So here I am going to have plates. Okay, so these things I have to calculate hereafter. So here I am going to provide the plate. This is nothing but our end bearings. Okay. So now let us move on to the another step, that is eighth step. Check for lateral torsional buckling. Check for lateral torsional buckling. Okay. This step we have to do when if the girder is not laterally supported. Okay, no, but here in the given data they have said that the girder is laterally supported. The girder is laterally supported throughout the length. Throughout the length. So this step is no need for our plate girder right now, whatever we have designed. Okay. So the next step we should move on to ninth step. That is flange to whip connection. So here it is welded plate girder. So we are going to use weld. Okay. So in page number 80 of IS 800 2007, we have strength of weld, that is QW is equal to V into AF by Y bar into Y bar divided by 2IZ. Okay. Whereas IZ is equal to BF into DQ divided by 12 minus that portion. So I'm going to take this is whole rectangular section. From that I'm going to remove these portions, this half. So the 560 mm is the breadth of flange and the overall depth is 1900 mm. Okay. From that I'm going to remove this shaded portion. Okay. So here, in order to calculate the BF value. So the width of shaded portion is nothing but 560 minus 16 divided by 2. Or else we can use 5 and this is 560 minus 16 divided by 2. Okay. And the height is 1800 mm. So that we are going to deduct so that we can get automatically the moment of inertia value. Okay. So PF minus thickness of web into DQ divided by 12. So 560 into 1900 cube divided by 12 minus 5060 minus 16 into 1800 cube divided by 12. So that the IZ value becomes 55702.6 into 10 to the power 6 mm power 4. Now we have to substitute in the above equation. So strength of weld QW is equal to V shear stress created. So 1908 into 10 cube multiplied with area of flange. So 560 into 50 into Y bar distance. So Y bar distance to the flange from the neutral axis. So here I am having my neutral axis. So up to this is 900 mm. So the centroid available will be for the flange is here. So this height is 50 divided by 2. So I am going to write 900 plus 50 divided by 2, the whole divided by 2 into iz, 5702.6 into 10 to the power 6. So that QW value is equal to 443.6 Newton per mm. So this is our strength of weld. So this strength is going to have, that is the force is going to happen because of shear force. Now we have to assume our weld thickness, so that how much strength the weld is going to withstand, that we are going to calculate. Okay, so that the QW value should be lesser than our resistance offered by the weld. Okay, so that we are going to check. So from page number 78, we have one table. So from that, so assume size of weld is equal to 10 mm. Okay, therefore Ks. So K value constant, we are going to take it as a 7.7. So it becomes 7 mm. Therefore, strength of weld per mm length or per unit length FWD. This formula is available in page number 79 of IS 800. So FWD is equal to Fu divided by root 3 into gamma MW. So if it is sharp weld, then gamma MW value becomes 1.25. Okay. So then FWD is equal to, so ultimate strength Fu is equal to 410 Newton per mm square. So 410 divided by root 3 into 1.25. Then the value becomes 189.37 Newton per mm. Okay. So which is less than our strength QW. Okay. Here the formula is wrong. So here the formula is FWD is equal to Ks into Fy divided by root 3 into gamma MW. So whereas Fy value is equal to 250 Newton per mm square. Okay. So this is correct. So Ks value is 7 mm into 250 divided by root 3 into 1.25. If I am going to substitute this value, so it becomes 808. So it becomes 808.3 Newton per mm. Okay, which is greater than our QW value. That is, because of shear force, we can have the strength of some 443.6 Newton per mm. Okay, but if I'm going to provide the size of weld as 10 mm, okay, no, then it can withstand up to the force of 808.3 Newton per mm. So hence safe. Hence the connection between the flange and the web will be safe if I'm going to provide 10 mm size of weld. So next step, step 10. End bearing stiffeners. Which is nothing but assume this is our beam or girder. Okay, So with respect to longitudinal view, I'm saying, okay. So here it is going to support over the column, okay. Now, so this plate I'm going to have some plate, okay. Now, so this is called end bearing plate, okay. Now, instead of that, if I'm going to have any section at the end, okay, so this will be called as the which means I already said, so in the cross section, this is flange plate, web plate, and flange plate, okay. So here I'm going to do the weld of 10 size, okay. So then after I have to insert a plate, okay. So that if I'm going to insert at the end, then it will be called as end bearing plate. So if the load is heavy, it can automatically transfer to the support or column, okay, now easily without any failure. So if I'm going to give at the end, then it will be called as end bearing. And if I'm going to give at mid, then it will be called as intermediate. And further, if I'm going to connect like this in the horizontal manner, okay, now that is also called as our stiffeners, okay, horizontal stiffeners. So like that also I can provide. So now I'm going to design only the end bearing stiffeners in this problem, okay. So from page number 67 of IS 800 2007, okay, local capacity of web. So the condition is, we have the formula FW is equal to V1 plus N2 into TW into FIW divided by gamma M naught should be greater than V. So this is our condition. So let us consider the thickness of this one we have done already in the beam. Okay, so this is 50 and this is 1800 That is web buckling and web crippling. Okay, now same. So this is 50 So I don't know the support width. So let us assume that B1 is equal to 125 Okay, and here the dispersion is going to be like this N2. Okay, now so this N2 value is 1 is to 1 2.5. Okay, so if it is 50 then it becomes 50 into 2.5 becomes 125 So N2 value is 125 So this is dispersion length. So if I'm going to substitute this into this FW formula, 125 plus 125 multiplied with the thickness of web 16 and the Fy value is 250, then gamma m naught is equal to 1.1. So if I'm going to substitute this value, I am getting Fw is equal to 909.1 kilonewton actually, which means if I'm going, I have to provide the stiffener at the end, okay, which is less than V, so that the shear won't transfer to the support properly. It can cause the failure of girders, okay. So that we have to go for end bearing stiffeners. So this is the check. End bearing stiffener is made, okay. So let us move on to the thing, that is the maximum width of the flat can be accommodated. So maximum width of the flat to be accommodated is equal to, that is nothing but breadth of flange minus thickness of web divided by 2. This is nothing but this gap from here to here. What is this? And from here to here, what is this? That distance. Okay, that is So 560 minus 16 mm divided by 2. If I'm going to use, I can get the value of 272 mm. Okay, so this distance is 272 mm. So here I am going to use the flat plate. So from page number 65 of IS 800 2007, outstand of web, outstand of web. The condition is 14 times of Q and epsilon to 20 times of TQ of epsilon, whereas TQ is nothing but thickness of web. So that is 16 mm. So the outstand length is to be between these two lengths. Okay. So like that I have to choose. So 14 into 16 into 1 to 20 into 16 into 1. So if it is like this 224 mm to 320 mm we have to choose. So the minimum requirement of 224 mm we can go for it. Okay. Therefore, try with the flat section of 224 mm by 16 mm in size. Okay. So this one we can provide like this here. Okay. Here we are going to provide this one. So I can provide either side. Okay. So based on that, it is going to. So with respect to top view, this is my web portion. So it have the thickness of 16 mm. So on either side, I have my stiffeners, end bearing stiffness. Okay, it have maybe to be continued here. Okay, it have the width of 224 mm. 224 mm. Okay. Now FW value becomes FW is equal to B1 plus N2 into TW into Fy divided by gamma N0. The condition should be greater than B. That is our condition. So here uh, the N2 value, say B1 as usual, I am going to take support with S125 mm. So if I'm going to take N2, that is the dispersion length, okay, now, which is nothing but this 224 mm multiplied with 2.5, that is 1 is to 2.5 ratio, it is going to disperse, okay. So N2 value is 560 mm. So if I'm going to substitute in this equation, so 125 plus 560 into 16 into 250 divided by 1.10. So if I'm going to substitute this, I can get 2491 kilonewton, which is greater than our V, that is 1908 kilonewton. So if I'm going to provide the end bearing stiffener of size 224 mm by 16 mm thickness, then it can taken care of the shear at the end of the support, hence safe. Okay. Next, check for buckling. So shear it can transfer, whether it can get buckle or not, that we are going to check it right now. That is our next step. So check for buckling of the stiffener. Since the stiffener, I am drawing a stiffener plate, so it may get buckle. So along the cross section. Okay, so it may get the chance like a web, it may get the buckling in it because of external load, that is nothing but our reaction. Okay, so whether it is safe to transfer this or not, that we have to check it. Okay, so here our reaction is nothing but shear force is nothing but 1908 kilonewton. Okay, we are going to calculate the capacity of the stiffener. So that stiffener capacity should be more than this shear force. Okay, so our PD value from page number, that is from page number from page number 34 of IS 800 2007, we can have the value of PD is equal to AE into FCD. Okay, so here we have to calculate these things. First, effective area of the stiffener. Effective area of stiffener. Okay, so that is nothing but two plates are there, 224 mm thickness, sorry, width and 16 mm thickness. Okay, so please refer this figure. So 224 into 16, two plates. Along with that, we have this portion also. Okay, so 2 into 20 into 16. Okay, multiplied with 60. So if I am going to have this value, the AE is equal to 17,408 mm squared. So next, moment of inertia, I value of the stiffener. So Ix is equal to, here the formula is 2 into BD cube by 12 plus A into Y bar square. Okay, so 2 into breadth 16 into 224 cube divided by 12 plus area 16 into 224 into Y bar squared. So here from the centroid we are going to calculate. Okay, so 224 divided by 2 plus 16 divided by 2, the whole square. So if I'm going to have this, I'm getting the value of Ix is equal to 13,319.1 into 10 to the power 4 mm power 4. Okay. Next, I have to calculate the least radius of gyration. Least radius of gyration. Okay. So this is nothing but R minimum. So R minimum is equal to root under I by A, Ix by A. So Ix value is equal to 13,319 into 10 to the power 4 divided by 17,408. Therefore, R minimum becomes 87.47 mm. So why we have to calculate these values means we have to calculate the value of FCD, that is stress. Okay. So in order to calculate the compressive stress, we need all of these values. Okay. Next is slenderness ratio. Slenderness ratio. Okay. Lambda is equal to KL by R minimum. So here L is nothing but the height of web. Okay. So 1800 mm divided by 87.47. It becomes 14.141. Okay. So for the lambda value of 14.41 and the Fi value of 215 Newton per mm squared, and for the I section girder, okay, now the buckling class we are going to refer as C. So among for these all value, by considering this from table 8C of IS 456. Okay, we are going to calculate the value of FCD. So the FCD value becomes 225.67 Newton per mm square. Okay, so C is nothing but buckling class C. Okay, so table we can have A, B, C, and D. Okay, so this A, B, C, D refers the buckling class. Okay, so we are going to use the buckling class of C. Okay, with the help of value of lambda and Fi value, we are going to find the value of FCD. Therefore, PD, design strength, okay, AE into FCD. So AE is equal to 17,408 into 225.67. It becomes 3,928.46 kilonewton, which is greater than our shear force 1908 kilonewton. Hence, the stiffener won't get buckled. Hence, stiffener are safe in buckling force also. In buckling also, since it won't buckle, it have the capability to withstand around 4,000 kilonewton. Okay, we have the shear force of only 2,000 kilonewton. It is almost 2 times, so it won't get buckle anyway. So it is safe in compression force. Next step, step 12, that is check for bearing capacity of the stiffener. Check for bearing capacity of the stiffener. So I have drawn the diagram. So this is our sectional details. Okay. So here I am going to do the weld. After doing the flange and the web plate connection, then I have to go for plate. So I will try it in the separate class. So here I am going to insert the stiffener plate. Okay. So this is nothing but stiffener plate couple. Okay. So here I am going to check the bearing capacity of this stiffener. So it has to transfer the load in the smooth way. So from page number 68, class number 8.7.5.2, I can have this bearing capacity of stiffener. Bearing capacity of stiffener. Okay. Formula FPSD is equal to AQ into FYQ divided by gamma m naught. It should be greater than or equal to FC minus FW. Okay. This FC minus FW is nothing but Fc is equal to actual shear force V, that is 1908 kilonewton. Fw is nothing but if without shear stiffeners, what is the force the section is going to take? So that we have calculated already, that is 909.1 kilonewton. Okay. So 909.1 kilonewton. Therefore, Fc minus Fw is equal to 1908 kilonewton minus 909.1 kilonewton. It becomes 998.9 kilonewton. Okay. So AQ. So the scoping I am going to take as 15 mm. Okay. So my total width, if I'm going to consider here, instead of 224 mm, I chosen already. So this 224 mm minus this 15, I have to deduct. So it becomes nearly 209 mm. So this is width of peering in the edge. Okay. So that I'm going to write. So width of bearing is equal to 209 mm. Therefore, area of bearing is equal to this 209 mm multiplied with thickness of stiffness, that is 16 mm. So it becomes 6. That is, there are two plates. Okay. So there are two bearing plates. Sorry, two stiffener plates, so that on either side, here one is available and here one is available. So multiplied with 2. So it becomes 6688 mm square. Okay. Therefore, FPSD becomes AQ 6688 mm square multiplied with Fy value is 250 Newton per mm square divided by gamma m naught. So the value is 1520 kilonewton. So if I'm going to produce the stiffener, the bearing capacity will be increased up to 1520 kilonewton. But actually what I can have only 998.9 kilonewton. Hence it is safe to transfer the bearing. Hence safe in bearing capacity also. Next, 13th step. So check for torsional resistance. Check for torsional resistance provided by the end bearing stiffness. Okay, so we can have one formula in the page number 68 of IS 800-2007 under the class number 8.7.9b. So IS should be greater than or equal to 0.34 times of alpha S into D cube into TCF. Okay, so first we have to calculate these things. That is lambda I have to calculate. That is slenderness ratio. So LLT divided by RY. Okay. So LLT is nothing but total span of the beam of the girder. That is 24 meter, which is nothing but 24,000 mm. Okay. So we have to calculate the value of RY. So RY is nothing but root of IY by A. Okay. So what is area? So there are two flange plates are available. and one web plate is available. So those area becomes our total area. So it becomes 84,800 mm square. So next I need Iy value. So 2 into TF into BF cube divided by 12 plus thickness of a B cube divided by 12. So Iy value divided by 12 plus D 1800 into 16 cube divided by 12. So Iy value becomes 1464.08 into 10 to the power 6 mm power 4. Therefore, R minimum or Ry is equal to root of I by A. So it becomes 64.08 into 10 to the power 6 divided by 84800. So Ry value becomes 131.40 mm. Therefore, LLT by Ry is equal to 24,000 divided by 131.40 mm. So it becomes 182.65. Okay. Now our alpha S value is equal to, if LLT divided by Ry value is greater than 100, then our alpha S value becomes 30 divided by LLT divided by Ry squared. So 30 divided by 182.65 squared. So it becomes 8.99 into 10 to the power minus 4. Therefore, Is value is equal to 0.34 into 8.99 into 10 to the power minus 4 into d cube, overall depth 1900 cube, into 50. So it becomes 104.82 into 10 to the power 6 mm power 4. Okay. Actually, what we have provided, that is with respect to stiffeners. Okay. Uh, so thickness into breadth. So breadth is 2 into 224. Okay. Cube divided by 12. So it becomes 119.89 into 10 to the power 6 mm power 4. So whatever we have provided is more than our requirement, hence safe. Okay. Next, the last step, end stiffener connections. End stiffener connection. So as usual, so here we have the section. So this section has to have the connection like this. Okay. Then only we can have transmit the load safely. So for that, what we are going to do now, welded connection now. So as usual, we are going to find out the strength of weld, and with respect to the force, what is the stress happening. So we are going to compare these two, so that if the strength of weld is more, then automatically it can transfer the load, stress due to load safely. So this is our condition. Okay. Let us move on to this. So already we know that the width for width of bearing is equal to 224 mm is the stiffener plate thickness minus scope length. So it becomes 209 mm. Okay. Then tension capacity of one flat TDN is equal to 0.9 times of AN into FU divided by gamma ML. Okay, so FU value we know that 410 Newton per mm squared, and the gamma ML value we know that 1.25. We need AN value. So AN is nothing but this breadth 209 multiplied with stiffener's thickness 16 mm. So it becomes 3344 mm squared. Therefore, TDN is equal to 0.9 into 3344 multiplied with 410 divided by gamma ml. Sorry, gamma ml value is 1.25. So it becomes 987.15 kilonewton. Therefore, shear per unit length. Therefore, shear per unit length, this QW is equal to TDN divided by 2 into dW minus 2 into stiffener plate cope. So 987.15 into 10 cube divided by 2 into thickness, total depth of web is equal to 1800 minus 2 into stiffener cope, that thickness 2 into 15. So it becomes 278 Newton per mm. That is because of this shear created. Okay, now we can get the shear per unit length around 278 Newton mm. So now I'm going to have the weld. So the strength of weld we are going to calculate. If QW is less than FWD, strength of weld, then the section can transmit the shear safely. That we are going to calculate. So that assume size of weld S is equal to 5 mm. Therefore, Ks is equal to 0.7 into 5. It becomes 3.5 mm. Therefore, FWD is equal to Ks into 250, Ks into Fy divided by root 3 into gamma MW. Okay. So 3.5 into 250 divided by root 3 into gamma MW. So it becomes 404.14 Newton by mm. Okay. So the section, that is FWD, is greater than QW. Hence, it can safe to transfer the connection. That is the welded connection, whatever we have given that 5 mm now, it can safe enough to transfer the load easily on the support. So up to this, the welded plate girder design is over with respect to end bearing stiffener. If it is intermediate stiffener, then the little bit changes we can have in the stiffener design. Thank you. Thank you all.